Committee on Tuesday, June 11th. This is our reorganization meeting since we had the election yesterday. At this time, I'll open it up for nominations for chair.
Steve, I'd nominate Matt Varakis for chair.
Second.
The nomination made and seconded. Are there any other nominations? Okay, at this point, I'll close nominations and we'll have a vote. All in favor of Matt Varakis as chair?
Aye.
All right. Opposed? Okay, 5-0. That ends my turn at the gavel. Feel free to select the vice chair.
You did well.
This time we'll open nominations for vice chair.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to nominate Tina Zapanis for vice chair.
Second.
Do we have any other nominations? Being none, I'll close nominations. All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations, Tina. Can I get a motion for approval of the bills, please?
So I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And I'll accept a motion to review approval of minutes from May 20th, 2024 school committee meeting.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Open the meeting for public comment. Doesn't look like there's
Mr.
any.
Chairman, during public comment, I just want to thank the voters who supported the school project at town meeting, at town election. I remain convinced that it is in the best financial interest of the town to go in that direction. I'm happy with the, appreciative of the vote of both meetings.
Thanks, Bill. Scott, do you have a student rep? Okay, thanks. CTA? Welcome.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hi.
I'm Brenda DeSessa. I just wanted to introduce myself, and I look forward to working with everybody. I've been the vice president for a while now, so worked with Dr. Meyer for a while. I think we have probably a pretty good working relationship, so looking forward to that. And I am a resident of Clinton, and the middle school teachers are delighted to think about a new building. It's very, very exciting for us. And we are looking forward to negotiations next year. We've already done some preliminary planning, thinking about that. And all good. And most importantly, I teach Project Lead the Way, and we do lots of 3D printing in my classroom, so gotta give you a little swag from the classroom.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Oh, nice.
Brenda, congratulations on the appointment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a whole desk of this stuff. Every time the kids print something, I get one sent down to me.
If you ever want something, I can print it up.
Phone holders, whatever. Yeah.
Whatever you want, I'll print for you.
PTA?
Cool.
Hi, how are you?
I was told I couldn't speak very long.
A little tired from that trip.
It was great to spend the day at the zoo with you.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. We had our last school year meeting last Thursday. We are going to close out our season at this point with 108 PTA members for the 2023-24 school year. New membership will start at 0 on July 1st, so watch for your renewal email because that will come quickly. We grew our email list to a total of 382 people this year and only see that increasing as we continue through the summer and into the new school year. All of us as a board are thrilled with the project moving forward. A couple of us were there for the June 3rd meeting. I voted by mail and handed my stuff personally to the town clerk to make sure everything went through. Thrilled and very interested to see how that process worked. So that was very stomach turning, but it was good to see.
I don't want to interrupt you, but
No,
I'd
go
say
ahead.
it's, I'd like to just thank the PTA too, because I think you guys provided a lot of support.
I don't know how you guys do this all the time.
There's certain you know, obviously there's, like I said, there becomes a point where, as a school, you know, I can't really advocate, as much as I want, you know, because once it becomes a ballot question and we relied on, you know, ballot committee and the PTA and those groups to kind of run with it, and you guys did a great job.
We tried really hard, so thank you. I think every person that we ran into that had a sign in their yard, we were able to say thank you to, and kind of encourage and say, you know, show up. That's the only thing we're asking you to do. Everything we posted said, show up. That's all. I'm not gonna tell you one way or the other, obviously, and we did what we needed to do, and it worked. So we are very proud of that, too. At the June 6th meeting, we voted in our new board, so Becky's going to continue as our president for 24-25. I am staying in as vice president for 24-25. Jessica Cardona is stepping in as treasurer. Melissa Colleton is stepping down. And our secretary will continue to be Kat Strickland. And we recruited a new position for the board as bilingual liaison, Melissa Williams, who's an instructional assistant at CES and works closely with LPAC to bridge our gap communication-wise to reach all the families in town. And I'd love to tell you that we're going to slow down for summer, but I don't think we will. You might see us at a block dance, a summer concert, and of course, Old Home Day as that gets started planning for the fall. So obviously, Becky and I are around over the summer. If you need anything, let us know.
You're not kidding. I'm like, oh, the year's winding down, and I get the like, hey, Dr. Meyer, when can you meet so we can go over our plans for next year? Like,
I'm working that day, so you won't see me. But you might get to meet some of the new people on the group, which is great because they're looking forward to it. Obviously, we've convinced some new people to help join us, and that's been our goal over the last year is to recruit more people to help us do what we want to do. Because as much as we were doing all the things, we can't do all the things. We'd like to sleep this summer. So, but if you need anything, feel free to reach out, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
so much for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
CPAC or LPAC? I don't see anybody here tonight. Okay. Dr. Mara?
all right. Well, so when the agenda was posted, it just said CMS building project update because we weren't sure what that update was actually going to be. Obviously, by now, if people haven't picked up on it, the middle school project passed. I think it was final was like 1,040 to 473 or something, 476, something like that. And it had previously passed at town meeting. So we are full steam ahead. I had a meeting at 2 o'clock today with our project team and Town Administrator Ward, and really just going over the next steps in terms of, you know, getting the ball rolling. What they'll really be working on right now is finalizing the construction documents, or trying to work on finalizing the construction documents, so that we can, they can get far enough along that they can go out to bid, so that the subcontractors can start bidding, and they'll be doing some other things probably fairly soon. Probably their target's probably like the fall to start doing some more soil testing and things like that to start figuring like the best place for geothermal or whatever else they need out there. And then really the target would be probably in the spring to have sort of a groundbreaking, whether that's probably depends a little bit on what the weather is, how fast things go, but we're kicking around April-ish right now, and we'll see how that comes along. One of the things they talked about is, you know, as we move forward, we'll start trying to form some more working groups. So I know we had kind of a larger building committee, and a lot of the people in the building committee didn't really have as much of a voice for this first stage because a lot of it was really handled by the permanent building committee. What we're hoping is that by kind of forming some of these working groups now, that some of those other people who are there to represent can have a little bit more of that say, because these things will range anything from, you know, a working group that's just on furnishings to a working group that might be on the color scheme to a working group on all those types of things. So we'll be getting that information from them as far as like what are the working groups that they suggest and what might be the time commitment, and try to go through and probably reach out to the members of the building committee to see what they're interested on and if they want to continue serving on it. and if we need to make any changes to the building committee, we can. And probably the other big thing we just talked about was the next step for us, the next deliverable is there's a project agreement, project scope and agreement that we need to sign and get back to the MSBA. I believe that that's going to be on the selectmen's agenda, not for tomorrow night's meeting, but their one in 2 weeks, to get the formal approval by the select board so they can sign that and send it in, and then everything should be hopefully official with the MSBA at that point. But the MSBA has been notified of our vote, and they are excited about it as well. So I'd say in general, everyone was, the whole team was kind of impressed on the response from all the community and stakeholders, and how smoothly everything went, and how we've got to this point, and hopefully it'll keep going that way. Any questions on where we are on that?
No, I just have a quick comment. I'd just like to thank Bill, because when Bill volunteered to want to be appointed to the school committee, it was a primary focus around helping us understand the ins and outs of what a project like this could be, and having a voice almost to the residents in a way you can put it in a language they can understand. And I think if anybody was at town meeting or had a chance to see the video at town meeting, Bill's delivery was super impressive on just helping people understand what's at stake and what it all means. And I don't know that we could have done it that way. So I appreciate you, Bill. It was good.
Chairman, thank you for your kind words, but you guys did all the hard work. We've been doing this for 3 years, and you got it to the point where it was ready to present to town meeting. But thank you.
All right. We do have some staffing updates. It's a busy time of year as we start filling some positions that either were newly included in the budget or replacing those anticipated, retirees and those types of things. There's a list of them there, in alphabetical order. We did have one resignation from the elementary school, an IA, and one retirement, a new retirement from the middle school, who's also an IA. So I think we're moving along pretty well with our hiring at this point. There are still probably a few positions that we're trying to fill in each building, but I think that we do a pretty nice job, I think, of our administrators do a nice job of getting those postings out. We try to post as early as we can, even if it's anticipated, so we can start getting those process moving when teachers are when it's a hiring season and teachers are looking and new grads are looking and that kind of stuff. And so I feel like we're in pretty good shape right now. The next one I have is the proposed school committee meeting schedule for next year. It's in there. You guys can review it. I would, the next meeting, what we talked about earlier was July 15th. There's, you can see on the calendar, if you look at it, there's a couple where there might be 3 weeks here or there, but we try to balance it out with the vacations and that kind of stuff. So I don't know if you want to approve that calendar or if you want to sit on it and look at it and approve it, or make any comments and approve it, the July one, and we can always amend it too as we go along, like if we know something comes up.
I appreciate the organization of this and how we have everything laid out and we know what's what. It's funny because I'm halfway down here is budget version A again.
Yeah.
All over again, but no, I think this is great. I'll certainly make a motion that we accept this calendar.
Second.
Any discussion? Being none, all in favor?
All right, thank you. So we'll work off of that unless there's any further notice. Keystone board appointment. So as you know, we are a member of the Keystone Collaborative, formerly known as FLAC. Every year, we have to, as part of that member of that collaborative, we have to have a representative on the board. Since I've been the superintendent, I've been appointed as the representative by the board. This year I was the vice chair of that board. I'm willing to do that again if you would like, but obviously it's one of you really wants to serve in the.
I'd certainly like to nominate Dr. to serve on the Keystone Collaborative again this year.
Any discussion?
Good luck.
All in favor?
Aye.
It is nice. I'll tell you, it is a collaborative where most of the board members are superintendents. So it's nice because not only are we trying to run the collaborative to help support our districts, but it also serves as a nice check-in point for a lot of our local, to just kind of connect with the area superintendents on a regular basis. So it is a good one, so thank you.
See, real quick before you were mad, I see the calendars in here. Did we already vote to approve this at a previous meeting?
Yes, that calendar is just in there because it's got the school committee meetings on it for you. Yes.
Yeah, that was the
Sure.
opportunity to give the schools 2 weeks off because of that weird day
Oh,
that
yeah,
fell,
that's
remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you had pointed that out, I would have
There was a
known.
lot of support for that.
No, now I remember it.
I did hear a couple grumblings that it's short in the summer, but, they can't make everyone, we can't please everyone all the
We'll
time.
be happy in December. It'll be great.
All right, so superintendent evaluation and goals, I have that in there. I know I talked to previous chairman Bailey when we posted the agenda, that I think that you guys were still in the process of trying to compile my evaluation. Is that, I think some of them were sent in.
Yeah, so I'll meet with Brandy. We talked a little bit about it today. We'll make sure we have all the feedback. And I think we originally had a goal of by the end of June, right?
Yeah, that's
Was
what
that
we
the original goal,
When do you
Steve?
need,
If we get it approved in the July one, that should be fine. Because we have to submit it at our, we have to submit all the ratings for all the educators to the state, but that due date will be probably in like August or so,
okay,
yeah.
perfect,
And I'll make sure that everybody has a copy of both his self-evaluation. I think Kelly sent us the template too.
yeah. Okay, I'll get that.
I did have one other request. Do you want me to share that request at this point, or is that the email request I had? So, in my contract, it does state that I get a 2% raise, or I can get additional increase based on completion of goals. One of my goals this year was the middle school project, and obviously we did kind of accomplish that. So what I was requesting was an additional 2% for completion of that goal. The rationale is that would kind of bring me up to, it would kind of keep me sort of, not to necessarily compare it, but if you look at what the bargaining units have received over the last 3 years, it's been about an 8%. So as we getting 2% each year, an additional 2 would get me to the same kind of 8% they've gotten over those years. And the reason I asked that is since we have the, our paychecks will obviously change starting July 1st, so.
I'll entertain a motion. I mean, everybody had the email. If everybody's comfortable with someone wants to make a motion, we can open it up
So
for
moved,
discussion.
Mr. Chairman?
Second.
Open for discussion, comments, questions? All in favor?
Nope. Thank you, I appreciate that. We do have one unpaid bill from a previous fiscal year. It is in here. This is a long story, but I'll give you the abbreviated version, the abridged version. Essentially, it has to do with transportation. See, it says FY22 McKinney-Vento. McKinney-Vento is homeless transportation. So this was a student who was living in another town, and during this year, this is actually from FY22, we cost shared transportation with the other town that year. They kind of sort of appealed that process and said they shouldn't have had to cost share that, so they kind of refused to pay their half of it. And it really, by the letter of the law, they shouldn't have had to, so it really is our obligation. I know it's 2 years down the road, but I don't really want to, we work well with D-Bus, and I'm not trying to, make them eat the bill. So I would look for a motion to pay this, to approve paying the previous fiscal year bill. We would pay it out of their school choice revolving account.
Entertain a motion for approval on the invoice?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, discussion?
On the discussion, is this $16,000 for one pupil for one school year?
Half of
Half.
one pupil for
We've
this.
already paid $16,000.
Well, we cost shared this amount.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's $32,000
That's
for
what it
one
was.
student's transportation.
For that year. And that's part of, it is, we try to go out to bid and get the best rates we can for that, but it's expensive.
Any other questions, comments? All in favor?
Which is why it was also important that recent changes to circuit breaker started allowing us to claim transportation now. The grant updates, we have just 2 grant updates, and we don't need to take any action on them. I just want to let you know, obviously, we have the Adult Learning Center, who, if you were able to attend, they had a great graduation ceremony. That's always a nice ceremony. I felt bad. Christine Cordio does so much work for that, and then in the item, they put a giant picture of me in the, for the graduation ceremony. But they did get their, she actually pieces together a lot of grants to keep her program running. But this is their major one. They did get awarded the $470,000.
That's awesome.
And the other award letter that we have in here is for the CFCE, Coordinated Family Community Engagement Grant. That's basically the early childhood program. Same idea, there's some other grants that feed into that, but this is their big one, $157,000. So both of these grants have been awarded for 2025 so that we can continue to move forward with those. And I think that's all I really had. So assignments would be the next thing you guys just want to
Yeah.
look at. I mean, I think however you guys want to handle that.
Yeah, so as far as committee assignments, Kelly in the packet has the current committee assignments. And I think if it's okay with you guys, what we could do is, over this next week, why don't we, maybe over email or conversation, find out what interests folks have, and then we can just come to a consensus on what the new assignment should be moving forward. And then we can come back and make sure they're approved in the next meeting. Is everybody okay with that?
Yep, sounds good.
So this week, email me, let me know what you're interested in, and then we can talk amongst ourselves, and we can make sure everybody finds a home for what they're interested in and what's in the best interest of moving forward. Okay? Cool. Anything under old business?
I don't think so.
Bernie, nothing?
Nothing? You say Brown, you nothing? You're not gonna have anything?
Old
I sat there for 2 years and you always had something?
Wait till new business, and I'll say, no.
I got nothing.
I'll just tell you about,
I got nothing.
anything under new business.
I got 2 things.
All right, there.
there you go.
There you go. Thanks.
One is the MASC-MASS joint conference is November 6th to 9th. We just got the thing in the mail. The early bird registration is to register before July 15th, which is our next scheduled meeting. So if you want to go to that, if you plan on attending that, you could just let me or Kelly know, and we'll get the registration in so we get the early bird discount. Yep. And just a reminder that tomorrow is the last day of school. So high school will be dismissing at 10:30, middle school at 11, and the elementary school at 11:30.
Could you forward that information to me?
Yes.
And so one thing on the new business, I don't know if you call it privilege, but I was entertained today when I went to the zoo in second grade class. And I gotta say, the whole thing was really much. It was amazing. I'm tired, but I had a good day. But I don't want to embarrass anyone, but everyone there was phenomenal. But I gotta say, the nurse that you have down at that elementary school, I don't know if she had a kid in every group, but she bounced from group to group, you know. And my granddaughter was there, and I won't get into, but I had a thing I was supposed to get done, and I forgot. She texted me right away, like everywhere else. Hey, Bernie, you forgot. But she was phenomenal. Like I don't know if she enjoyed the zoo, but she had. I mean, she was giving me packages, but she does a great job. I wish I could remember her name. Like, it was a long day. Well, then you might want to keep her, all right?
She was superb.
She really was. On that note, that's all I got.
Mr. Chairman, under new business, I'd like to propose for an agenda item at our next meeting, a discussion about attempting to form a subcommittee that meets with the Finance Committee subcommittee and the Board of Selectmen, or the Select Board subcommittee on budget, and have the school committee join them at least, and have a team that joins them at least to look at some guidelines for coordination with the town and keeping them informed of how our budget is being developed.
Absolutely. I'll get with Kelly on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Anything else? All right. Take a motion for adjournment?